because you know that either your money is going there or they're investing their time just to talk to you. And you're kind of fucking them about.
Yeah, so it does take the pressure off a little bit, having that third eye. And like, if you're mentally struggling, you could just say, hey, look, time's a bit tough, and they'll reassure you. Do you know what I mean? So it works. Both ways.
I see what you're saying. You know, I don't even tend to call him on things like that. I don't know, maybe because I feel like I've been training for so long. Like, I only see him as like, oh, Will's, and I only see him, which this is a good conversation. I only see him as like a training coach. How you doing, Will? You good?
It's connecting. It's audio.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but I only see him like a training coach, but not like full on. Like, you see your relationship with Josh. It's like I don't know how well it is, but I can tell you guys communicate like near enough every day. You're kind of like on the same vibe, James. So I don't feel like I have that with him. Not that it's a bad thing, but I just don't feel like I've built up that level of what's the word I'm looking for, Sam? I don't know. Is it trust or relationship? Yeah, we was in. Yeah, how you doing, Will? Everything looks good, but I can't hear him at the moment.
Unmute yourself if you can, maybe.
It's cool. Nice. It's unmuted. I think it's his volume.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Champs in the house.
How you doing, man? Will, do you know everyone in the chat?
Yeah. I know everyone in the chat.
Oh, okay,
I don't know who the Build Gorilla is though.
Let me change. Actually, no, I'm happy with this. Let me just change this quickly. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So yeah, all right.
Build a Gorilla is just like the brand, isn't it? Just like
it's just a brand. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, and it also helps me so I can share the screen, so I can actually, obviously I'm filming on my phone here, and then the laptop's here. It actually sets up the whole thing, and then I can conversate and whatnot. Blah blah blah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see.
Okay, cool, perfect. We're saying, well, what's I don't even know where to start. First and foremost,
I think it's kind of good for introductions. How many titles is won? The guy won overall, so I think it's right that we give him his kudos.
How many titles? How many shows have you done, and how many titles have you won? Let's start with that.
It'll be time for your meeting by the time Will's finished with the titles. Is one, man.
Especially after last time.
How many shows overall, or just for this season?
Overall.
So my first competitive season was in 2018, where I started out as a teen. So my first show was with the BNBF Midlands 2018. Competed as a teen. Won that one, and then decided to go for UK DFBA again. Entered as a teen again. I think it was a Southern show as a teen. Won that one, and then I went to the British finals of both of them that year. So BNBF teen British champion, won that one. UK DFBA, entered as a teen British finals, came second that year. Arguably, could argue, but and then sort of had a 4-year sort of improvement season, and have just recently come back this year, where the first show this year was the PCA Muscle Talk one. Entered as a junior for that federation, won that one, won the overall for that one, and just recently done the BNBF Midlands this past weekend. Just missed out on being a junior, so I thought might as well just go and just do my natural weight, which is a heavyweight. And won the heavyweight class, won the overall, and won the best wheels. So that's everything so far.
Sam, how's that for a recap?
Been a good season. Congratulations, bro.
Thank you, bro.
What made you get on stage in 2018? Ideally, oh, actually, you know what? Before 2018, before show day, what was like what was like bodybuilding and like fitness? Like, what was you doing like on a general like day to day? Because obviously you're like what, you must have been like 17, 18, 19, roughly, give or take. So what was you doing on a day to day back then?
Yeah, so back then I think I was 18 at the time. I had been training then for 3 years. So I started training when I was 15 years old. Quite seriously as well, like not going into the gym and thinking, oh, I'm just going to the gym. Like, I remember seeing, I think it was a video of like Ronnie Coleman or something at 15, and straight away it was hooked from there. So I trained for 3 years. Obviously, when I first started, I was in high school. I think I was in year 11 or year 10, something like that. And then trained all the way through them 3 years till I was 18, which was when I was, I think, in my first or second year of college. And that was pretty much it. I just remember, to be honest, the day-to-day routine being school, gym, college, gym.
No football, no sports, nothing else, just gym.
Nothing else. I didn't have a job at the time, so I had a lot of free time on my hands. So, and being as I was so young and new to the industry, like I sort of had that like new obsession at sort of a young age. So like I remember like literally like reading all the magazine, watching all the videos, like reading the Arnold Schwarzenegger book back to front, the Mike Menzer book back to front. Do you know what I mean? So like, and that was pretty much it. I was definitely obsessed with bodybuilding for like, I'd say.
Pick my books, one second. You told me this one.
Yeah, that one.
He's got it.
I've read that a good 10 times. So I remember just being obsessed about bodybuilding for the first 3 years. So, and that's pretty much it. School, college, gym, and that's pretty much it.
James, when did you start getting into bodybuilding properly?
I'd say
I used to be a athlete. Basically I was like a track athlete, so I used to be 100 meter, 200 meter sprinter.
Okay.
I used to play football, Saturday, Sunday league ones, and did rugby for school. And obviously when you start bulking up a little bit, then you're sort of noticing a few gains here and there. So you're like, okay, why not get myself in the gym to improve my game? Originally it's just like sort of like leg days to work on explosive power to help my original sports, and then did a few upper body sessions. Thought, you know what, it's feeling quite good. I wasn't one of these guys who was like really just going in there, making time pass and going through the movements. Like I'd say maybe like the first couple of weeks, month, it was a bit like getting used to it, but obviously everyone's like that. And then like Will said, I started watching videos like you've got the old Arnold Schwarzenegger blueprint videos, the classics.
Yeah.
So I'd basically get in from school, either rugby practice or all of that sort of stuff. Put on a blueprint video. I had my chicken and pasta at the time, because obviously nutrition wasn't really a big thing. Let's face it, if I'm doing all that exercise, I'm burning calories upon calories anyways. So I was just having like big bowls of pasta, chicken, like lean burgers, etc. I wasn't counting macros or nothing at that age. I mean, how old was I? 16, 17? So I was doing all that.
That's not early though.
Yeah, I know. I got into it quite early, to be fair.
Sam, what about you?
Yeah, I've got a similar background to James. I used to play rugby in South Africa, but then we used to have cardio sessions and we used to have weight training sessions. And I would enjoy the weight training sessions a bit more. And then I think later on, closer to the end of my high school, I quit rugby and started training a lot more. And then I remember when I moved to the country 2017, I obviously saw that there were a lot more gyms and a bit more equipment to use compared to Africa. So I kind of exploited that and I got myself into the gym group, which was a stepping stone, and then just started training a lot more. I was very insecure and very small and tiny at the time. So a lot of the time it was like me training so I could prove to people that I'm not this tiny person. It was kind of like that fuck you energy, like you making fun of me, I'll show you type of thing. That's how it was for me. I was supposed to compete first time in 2020. I was going to do men's physique. I had started prep, and then COVID happened. So I think I was 4 weeks out when COVID happened, lockdown happened, and obviously I had to cancel my prep.
I remember when we were talking about that back in the days when we were both at college and that. Do you remember? Men's physique, I was thinking, this guy's too big for men's physique. Come off it, man.
I was going to do men's physique. I already started practicing the poses.
Okay, so wait, so everyone started bodybuilding like, wait, so James, when did you start like proper like getting into bodybuilding? Not like gym or like training, but like you're looking at bodybuilders and you're like, okay, cool, like this is like bodybuilding, if that makes sense. Because obviously
this is what I want to do, sort of thing.
Yeah. Like proper, like actually like in
2018, man.
2018.
Finished school and that, obviously college, you're known as the big guy at the time, and people are starting to recognize it. So I was like, you know what, I've been watching these videos for ages, get on my computer, start looking at a few competitions and all that. And obviously I saw natural organizations. BNBF popped up, did the one in 2019. I was
so you just missed Will. Just go on.
Yeah, on purpose. No. But did the one in 2019. So I did that, and then obviously it was one of them ones where finances weren't too good at the time, can't lie. So obviously I did the Central when it was about. I don't have that anymore. So I did that, and then I was going to go to finals, but finances, it was in like, I don't know where it was. I think it was like Perth, Scotland in 2019 finals. So we just gave that a miss, to be honest with you. And then I was going to do a 2021 season as well, but obviously everyone knows about that leg injury that I had in 2020 in the lockdown. So obviously that put things to a halt. I was supposed to be out for about 9 months, end up rehabbing myself in 6. And then said, you know what, there's a bit of an imbalance. What's the point? I'm just going to wait till 2022, and then we're here where we are today doing it.
Okay. Apart from this is to Will as well. Apart from like the mental side, because everyone's like, oh, bodybuilding is like mental, like, you know, you have to be like dedicated and stuff like that. Apart from the mental side, what would you say is a big factor in bodybuilding, Will? To you, I mean, to you, or what you've kind of noticed in your experience, what would you say?
Biggest factor. I'm just gonna go back to the last question, the point. If I did anything, I always forget to mention this. I don't know why, but it just seems to just cease from my mind. But I actually used to box from the age of like 13 to 14. So, but like because I don't know, I feel like because I don't have any achievements in it, I sort of forget I did that. But yeah, I used to do that from like the ages of like 13 to 14. Nothing serious. I didn't even have my first official like amateur boxing match. It was just strictly just boxing training, just for fun, one of the local gyms. So that's to go back to that point. But going on to your question, apart from the mental side, the biggest factor in bodybuilding, I'd say genetics, to be honest. Like a lot of people try and listen. It is what it is, man. A lot of people try and, you know, brush it under the carpet and try and push it out the way, but it's true, bro. Because look, if you look at the Olympia stage, every single person on that stage has elite genetics. Forget all the supplements, forget all the training, forget everything. Genetics alone, compared to everyone else, they have the top tier best genetics. So if you have the best genetics straight away in bodybuilding, automatically you're in the top tier level anyway. Do you know what I mean? Aside from the mental part, the biggest factor in bodybuilding to be successful at a high level, whether people like it or not, just my opinion, is genetics. It doesn't it is what it is.
This is the thing. Like, anyone can train their arse off, but if you haven't got the base genetics to make you with that sick structure, it's like lads were saying at my one. It's like, oh, I've put so much into this prep, and all that, I think you've just got better genetics. And that's just what it is. Like, you could, like, if someone beats you on the stage, you're not going to be salty about it and be like, oh, like, oh, you know, I don't know what you've done to get here. Like, they've literally just got better genetics, so you can't really you can only do what you can at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean?
Makes sense. So what about you? What do you think? Apart from genetics and mental aspects, what would you add to the pool?
I would say, I'll just repeat the question again.
what's the biggest factor to bodybuilding minus the mental side and genetics? Like what's like a big factor to make a bodybuilder?
I'd say being able to stay disciplined.
Isn't that's on the mental side, or no? You gotta bring something else to the table, man. James,
training.
Okay.
I see a lot of the teenagers these days, they obviously taking a lot of influence from guys who are various pros, guys who got huge social media following, and a lot of kids are not doing the basics these days, you know. A lot of kids are not doing the basics, and you know what I mean in terms of basics: eating well, training properly. I don't know. It's a tough one because obviously you guys picked all the right ones, but
James,
this is another thing I find weird. Why are these kids doing full body? What's that about?
Well, I mean, to be fair, full body training. I feel like if you're just starting, full body training is probably the best way to go about it. I don't think you should, just because of like your level of training at that point in time, in terms of like how your body reacts to certain movements, your like exercise knowledge in terms of like doing a barbell squat compared to doing a lunge. A lunge is obviously going to be easier for your body to, like, in terms of, if we're talking like dynamics and everything else, it's just easier. So, but if we're talking like full body training, I feel like for people just starting, that's probably like the best way to go, like a full, either upper lower split, or you just go full body, and it's just going to be something like, you know, shoulders, back, and legs, and depending on how you want to do it. But I do feel like if you're a beginner and you come in and you want to start doing chest and triceps, back and arms, and wherever you know, all these stuff, you don't really get like the basics. Like if you do a full body, you most likely use barbell squats, then you do your bench press, then you do your shoulder press. You might add shrugs in there and deadlifts. You know, like it doesn't get any better than that in terms of full body. It just depends how they do the full body. If you're just starting and you end up doing full body, and you know your workout is something like cable flies, you know, cable bicep curls, you know, you put one bench press in there and you do leg extensions and leg press, you're probably not getting as much stimulation as you should, you know, in terms of training, and it just doesn't set a good foundation. So as long as that full body is filled with like barbell movements and compound movement, like obviously Sam said, I feel like you get, even at the start, you get a lot more, I want to say reaction, but that's not the right word, but your body reacts to it a lot more quickly, just like a baby gains, you know what I'm trying to say? When you just start and you train for like a month or two and you start seeing crazy gains, but it's not going to be the same for the next 3-4 months until your body adapts to like a new level of stimuli. So yeah, I feel like full body is probably a decent goal for beginners, as long as it's consistent with barbell training. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Or what do you think it's something else, or are you seeing something else from that? James? Yeah, James, yeah, because you brought up.
No, I just never took that approach. Like, I was always a two body part when I first started. Like I did like chest and tris, etc. I never took that full body approach, to be honest.
Okay.
I speak for myself. I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, the first 2 years was bro split every day. Like, yeah, on Monday was chest. Tuesday was something like biceps. Wednesday was something like back. Thursdays was shoulders. Fridays was do whatever because it's going up clubbing. So there wasn't any structure.
Okay, so Will, to your training in 2018, because let's use that. How do you remember what your training split was like? Was it mostly full body splits, or what was that kind of like?
My training split, what was that for the year 2018?
Yeah, if you remember, like, were you doing like a bro split when you started, or was it more like full body training?
It was more like a bro split. It was more like a bro split, but like with supplemented with like secondary muscles, whatever I'm training that day. For example, if I do shoulders sometimes, like it wasn't set days. Like sometimes I'd do a shoulder work, I'd be like, oh, I feel like doing triceps, I'll do triceps, I'll do back. And then that day I might feel like, oh, I want to do biceps, I'll do biceps. So it was pretty.
So was there anyone that was kind of like pivotal to like you switching into bodybuilding, or was it just kind of like a self-found kind of thing?
Prime Callum von Moger, the beast.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, man.
God knows what was going through right now.
Me, just watching videos like that, mad. Like when he was at Gold's Gym those days, 2015, 2016 sort of era of him. I'd say like even to this day, like still sick videos. Do you know what I mean? It's just a shame what's happened to him and all that sort of stuff. But
yeah, that's crazy. Sam, what about you?
I was gonna say Pumping Nine, obviously. It's that whole movie just
okay.
And there's a few videos of Ronnie Coleman the leg press or either the front squat. So yeah, after then I was yeah.
Well, what about you?
I'd say when I first started gym, like 2015, it was just, you know, your standard. Everyone knows Arnold, of course, Ronnie Coleman, but like obviously as time went on, like a year in, I started discovering like the current scene of the fitness industry at the time. And like James said, Callum von Moger was a big dude for me, of course. Yeah. As you said, Simeon Panda, Bradley Martin at the time, and sort of those guys at the time. But and yeah, those in them days were the guys for me, and like people like Mike Rashid and stuff for me.
Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah, Mike Thurston was a big. I think it's because these guys live like that ideal lifestyle, like living in like I don't know where is it, like LA and all that sort of stuff. You're like, yeah, that looks sick.
Yeah. Was there like a single person where you're like, okay, I wanna emulate either his mentality, how he trains in the gym, or his physique, and you know that's the goal. Was there anyone that was like, okay, cool, this is the person I wanna, you know, kind of follow along, if that makes sense? It was how they train or how they are during prep or something. What would you say?
I'd say I wouldn't. I'd say I definitely had someone like that, but I wouldn't say there was like an influence or someone big or famous at the time. It was actually because like the area where I'm from is like Birmingham, innit? So like there's a lot of bodybuilding.
Yeah, you were around some sick people at the time.
So I've got like Saxon Gym Emporium. So like obviously coming up 16 years old, I think the Swench gang, the Swench boys, I just started like competing and stuff. So I was around them. So like as a kid, I was seeing them compete. So I'd say like subconsciously what I first knew about even competing wasn't even from these famous guys from online on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was my local guys. And at the time, I think Mikkel Wright came out from jail in like 2015. So I was seeing him like with my own two eyes, like being huge and lifting like stupid weight in the gym. Like I'm seeing that as a 15-year-old kid. So you've got to think about like subconsciously what mindset.
Yeah. You're trying to process that. Yeah.
My perception of limits were like, I'm going into a gym, I'm seeing 16-year-olds benching 3 plates, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? So I'm around that from early, and like people around me are like these people around me are competing and stuff. But I'd say if one person from the early days who had a huge impact on just on the mental aspect and just training aspect of training, I'd have to say it was Mikkel Wright, because I was 16 at the time, and it was very like, it was inspirational to me. Like, he's come out of jail, he's huge, strong as fuck, and like I'm seeing this on a daily basis, you know what I mean? And like I feel like he was one of the people who factored in to like from the ages of 15 to 18, like like just being around him just shot my strength up just straight away.
So look, is he still competing or?
Nah,
I just spelled his name.
Q.
MIQ.
MICQ.
No.
MISIC.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. I'll get it up.
Yeah.
Make it right. Okay, so it was more like a it was basically your environment. It wasn't like someone out there kind of thing.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm seeing that in it. Like you gotta go on like some of these older posts because like
yeah, I think I have
to come out like.
Has he got his own brand? Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, Venom Power.
Yeah, he does.
Interesting.
I don't talk to him anymore though, but like I'm saying, like at the time, it was
okay.
He was
Sam. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of the guy that owns the what's that brand that you like? SNC. SNC.
Oh, Simon.
Yeah, Simon. Yeah, Simon. Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of
Simon came out of jail in 2016 as well. And it was quite a similar thing. Like he came out of jail and he was massive. He was training at King's Gym, James Hollingshead, and it was, and seeing him come to the gym, bro, the whole gym was quiet whenever he walked in because it was just so big at the time.
Right, we met James Hollingshead, that was pretty mad. See him in the flesh.
Yeah, this is Simon. He owns HBG. And so speaking of brands, actually no, before we get into that, Sam, what about you? Who did you have? Was it like I guess it was, I don't know, because you came from South Africa, innit? So you must.
I didn't have any direct influence in the beginning, but as I grew older and I started to watch these videos, I feel like the person who I could relate to the most was either like your Flex Wheeler or like your Dorian, because they're very quiet. They seemed like very
not Flex
people.
Flex wasn't quiet. Did you hear the rumors that was going on? But he was not a quiet guy.
Apparently, like very quiet and very humble type people.
Oh, is that what you mean? I
yeah.
thought you meant like okay. Let's see. You know what I feel like you look like the most? Yeah.
We get our bodybuilding comparisons up.
You know what? We'll go into Optimum Nutrition, and then I wanted to do predictions on Arnold UK and Olympia top 10, and then we can do wherever we want to go after that. But I need to show you Sergey. I don't know how to spell his name, but I'll allow Google.
Sergey Bray.
Yeah, no, he's not white. Don't do that guy. Hold on. Fuck's sake. Hold on. This guy. This is the guy that I feel like looks like Sam 100,000%, especially this shot here. Yeah. No, this shot here. This one. You might be your granddad. You might have to research something. But yeah,
never know. It might be them African genetics.
Gee, he looks like he's got your chest, shoulder, and tricep. How would you call it? Frame, genetic structure. One of those two. But yeah, he's fucking. I just thought you have to see that. James, who would you say you relate to the most physique-wise?
That's
if you had to pick
to judge. To be honest with you, I'm getting all sorts of.
I'm trying to figure it. I don't know. I don't know. Will, what about you? Who would you say you look like if you had to, or who did you hear people compare you with?
Ronnie.
No, not Ronnie.
I don't know. I'm saying like natural Ronnie Coleman.
Okay, let's put natural Ronnie Coleman.
Natural Ronnie.
Natural.
If Will comes out looking like that at the BNBF finals, I might as well just go home straight away.
Why is Google lying? Hold on, let's see. Okay, this is
so natural.
Yeah, none of these. This we can't see him.
Why don't you type in classic physique Ronnie Coleman? Because he used to do classic prior, didn't he? Maybe.
Oh, did he?
That might work. Or just young Ronnie Coleman. I don't know.
Okay, let's see what comes out. Nah, I don't know. I don't.
Oh, What about that one there on the top right?
Yeah. I'd say Natty Ronnie Coleman.
Oh, there's one at the bottom right of the screen.
This
in
one?
The pink trunks.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
That's in his younger years, yeah.
Nah, I feel like Will's got a bigger chest here, man. If we're talking like structure,
it's the height and the size. That's the thing. That's the main thing. The height and the frame.
The height. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I can't compare Will to any bodybuilder at the moment.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that because I can't really think of anyone that I can compare to that just springs up to mind, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. All right, cool. All right, let's look at the Arnold first lineup. Actually, before we go into that, Optimum Nutrition, because we're talking about sponsors and stuff like that. How was the relationship with Optimum Nutrition built? From there as well, I just want you to kind of like freefall. I just want you to kind of like freefall in terms of like, you know, what the relationship is like with them, how you go into conversation, any tips for any potential bodybuilders. Because for Optimum Nutrition, that's like a big brand to sponsor like a natural bodybuilder. It's like it's not really like common. You mostly see bodybuilders supplements, you know, sponsor like a friend or a friend of a friend or like a enhanced athlete or someone that's following, but you are natural and it's like a big brand. Obviously your wins come into the picture 100%, but can you give us like anything in terms of like, you know, what the relationship is like I said, how you go in contact with them, and just kind of like free for your opinion of them as a brand as well. And just, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So they reached out to me earlier on this year around like April, May times, and it was so random. Like it was that random. I genuinely thought it was fake. Like I thought why would they be interested in me? Like one, like I haven't announced that I'm competing, and like my content at the time on social media, it was good, but it was like I wasn't really putting any effort to it, innit? So it's like they reached out saying like, oh, like we're interested in like starting a partnership with you. And originally the proposal was just to give me supplements.
Yeah, I know why they reached out, but yeah, go on.
To just give me a discount code to just basically like a sort of a standard influencer thing. Well, obviously, okay. As they got to know me and as they started to talk to me, and as I started to tell them the plans I had for the year and like what I wanted to achieve and what I wanted to do, then they came up with a sponsorship proposal, and yeah, we pretty much negotiated from there. And I said like, listen, like I want to compete. I'm gonna compete this year. I have plans of taking my content seriously in terms of, you know, from producing to putting out my own content on my own platform, and just various other projects that I haven't announced yet, but I did tell them that I want to do later on this year and after competing. And they seemed really keen, and I think they kind of knew that I was not just saying things just for the sake of saying it, like I was actually going to do it. So, and it kind of developed from there. And I also think they took a keen interest in because of like because of a personality. I kind of feel like people think that people just get sponsored because of like followers or whatever, but I think brands pay more attention to like who you actually as a person, like who actually represents their ethos, and like if you can carry out a specific message for them.
Be a little bit different, sort of stand out a little bit, you know, that sort of
quickly
thing.
What's it like with people putting makeup on you? And I know that's such a vibe.
I don't know, man. It's just one of those things that just had to be done. So I'm
sick though, man. That's really good. Honestly, I do praise you for that, because it's not a small thing to achieve. It is a big. How many people can say they're sponsored by a company and at the same time, you know, feature, you know, in like a commercial and things like that. So, you know, it's a testament to, you know, them having to believe in you. But yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people do believe in you as well. In terms of, you know,
this is going to be legendary. This picture, you look back on this
picture is crazy.
15 years time, we're going to look back on this photo here.
So yeah, I'm kind of annoyed with that picture, because obviously, you know, with social media, like, you want to take a picture and you want to post it straight away. So that was taken on my phone, innit? But I had my camera there. I took one on the camera, obviously higher quality, and the color, it just looks sick.
Yeah.
But I'd already posted the photo version, and obviously, you guys know on Insta, once you post and it gains traction, you can't really delete it and post it.
Yeah.
So,
you did well, man.
Yeah, but I prefer the camera photo one, because it's just more crisp.
If you can send me that, and I'll use that for the cover, so you get that publicity of that. You can finally put it out there.
Sure.
But yeah, this is sick, man. It says a lot. The trophies are speaking. All right, so speaking of, what's your code for Optimum Nutrition, just so people can put that in?
Our code is just my name, Will Chicomb, and just the number 20 at the end.
20. Okay. Why didn't you put the code here so people could use that? Because that was where I wanted to go to the first time.
That's a great reminder that I'm actually going to do as soon as we're done with this.
Yeah, please. Because I was looking at that, but yeah, that's solid. Okay, cool. Let's look at the. No, should we look? Sam, what do you think? Should we talk about the Arnold, or should we talk about the UK? The BNBF that just went on recently. What do you think?
I'd say let's talk about the Arnold first, because obviously that seems like it's more closer to upon us. I know a few guys are going to go watch it. We've seen a lot of guys posting physique updates, and I think it's only right, because it's an exciting show for the country, isn't it?
All right, let's see the lineup. 5 weeks to go.
Wait, are we doing open or classic?
Let's start with classic first. Let me just get this thing quick.
Oh, Brian. Without even looking. Brian.
You think, what the hell? Why would you think that? Really?
Brian's going to win it.
Nah, man, I feel like, yeah, the UK one. I feel like they've shadow banned him on stage, though. I'm not going to lie. I think after that incident with Chris Bumstead, where he put his t-shirt on him, I felt like something happened.
Who else is going to beat Brian?
Came across pretty arrogant and disrespectful in my eyes, anyway. Yeah,
see, that's what Chris Bumstead fans would think. So I thought it was a show, man. But it did feel a bit off, because when he did it and Chris didn't open up, then it kind of, in that sense, then yeah, it was a bit.
Is anyone going, by the way?
I don't know. Sam, are you trying to go?
No, I'm not there.
Right,
I'm going Friday, Saturday.
Are you going?
Yeah, Friday's my birthday, so that's going to be a madness.
Yeah.
Big birthday. It's going to be a good one. 23rd, 24th, 25th.
Of September?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get it up in a second.
Where is it? Do you know where it is?
It's in Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Oh, shit. I'm definitely.
Yeah, it's in Birmingham.
Okay.
Let me see. Sam, James, you got questions for Will, don't you?
Oh, what?
Yeah, from Instagram, and then I'll get this up, and then we can do that.
Oh yeah, these just like general questions, to be honest.
Yeah, go on.
I know my answer to them. I've already had to think about it. Top 3 biggest foods, general life related cravings during preps. So we could just basically, I'll guess what that is trying to say is, what are you craving on prep and how do you deal with it?
Do you know what? Prep cravings is a weird one, you know, because it's like, I crave like random things. I crave like random things I would not eat, like if I was not on prep, if that makes sense. So like, I've literally got a list on my phone that says foods that I've been craving while in prep, and they're just all random foods that I would never eat if I was just off prep. So, well, to be fair, it's just normal food. I don't really eat like mad dirty like when I'm outside of prep. So it's just like, it's For me, mainly, it's just like normal food, but with a little bit of spice and flavor. So it's like grilled food, bit of Chinese, pizza. That's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got quite a sweet tooth, so obviously stuff that I crave are like as you can imagine, just like treats and all that. So you can imagine I'm getting cookie box after all my shows, so I'll be yamming that down, get them on the A4 slabs.
Yeah.
So, sort of, yeah. But what I do is basically I just get protein powders of tastes that I'm craving. So at the minute I've got like carrot cake and Biscoff. Just craving that. I can just put that in a protein powder, not craving it anymore. Boom, sorted. Do you know what I mean? Rather than actually thinking, oh, I need a Biscoff biscuit or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I can just have it in a protein form and then we're sound.
I agree with that. The protein flavors definitely do suppress the craving for sometimes, to be honest.
Are you guys ready? Okay.
We're starting off with open then.
Yeah, let's start with
well,
open. Yeah.
Okay, should we go top 5
Wait,
then?
so that's the American one.
Is this the American one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking for thingy, wasn't I? I was looking for what's that black guy's name? They're all black.
The best place you can find is if you go to Two Bros.
Oh yeah.
On Insta.
On Insta, okay, cool.
I've got another question if you want to do that in the meantime.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, no, go on, James. You can do that. You can run them.
Is there any like Insta accounts or names of people who you think will turn pro in the next coming years?
It's a good question.
What type of pro are we talking? IFBB pro, natural pro?
Any, to be honest, would just go over it.
Let's say natural pro, just to kind of obviously with people within our spacing.
Natural pro.
It's hard to think of names, isn't it? Off the top.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like I definitely know the names, but it's like if you ask me on the spot right now, like I can't find it. Do you know what I mean? But like I feel like the UK natural bodybuilding scene is definitely like fully on the rise, and it's been
for sure
a pleasure to see, and it's getting extremely competitive, which is actually wicked to see. Natural pro, I don't know, too many guys spring into mind, but there's a good few bunch, to be fair.
I know. Like going over that whole natural on the rise thing, if we go back to my qualifier, 13 of us in there.
Yeah, I was actually doing that show as well, stacked lineup.
And I'd say like, obviously there's a couple that like sort of obviously aren't on the same level as top 5, but everyone brought something different. Do you know what I mean? Like there wasn't one guy up there who looked like shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure.
Like everyone up there had something to offer. Like if it's like shreds or size or it was actually a really good showing.
James, I was looking back at that video, which is hard to bring up right now, but I was looking back at that video, and it was a clear-cut win for you, but I mean, it was no doubt 100%. But obviously, you mentioned everyone came with something different, and there were guys a lot shredded. But I was watching that video back when I posted on my story, and I was just like, yeah, this guy is fucking smart. Obviously, with respect, but you was like levels ahead in terms of like thickness. Let me add content to that content.
You got the photos on my Insta.
Yeah, I do. I'll get onto that. I just want to make sure I can find this Arnold UK lineup quickly. But yeah, I think Keith West. I think he's already a pro. Is he natural pro?
Yeah, he's a DFAC pro.
Okay.
They're all competing, aren't they, on the same day as us sort of the finals?
Yeah. So basically, how it works is there'll be the BNBF British finals. And as soon as that show's done, the the DFAC pros are going to compete for the Grand Prix like straight after.
Mad. So you've got our overalls, and then you've got DFAC straight after.
Yeah.
So are you guys doing the same show?
Yeah, we'll both be there. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. It's gonna be fun, man.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. I'm grab my popcorn and watch.
We're there. I was speaking in the. I mean, we'll see who rolls up, but I'm definitely going there to watch 100%. Okay, I think I've got the list. I just want to confirm. 22 Brian. This is all still UK. This is so annoying. No, I can't find it, you know. It's only bringing me up the US one.
You type in Arnold Classic UK or something?
Yeah, I did. Hold on. Classic. Yeah, so this is the Europe one now. I need to. Sam, have you got any questions for Will?
What's the plan for the rest of the year? Because obviously you got a few finals. Are you going to go into a good off season next year, or are you going to come back and do it all over again?
So plans for
That's a good question.
Rest of the year. To be honest, I haven't really spoke with my coach since. I have spoke to him briefly, obviously, about just general stuff, but not about like doing any shows since the weekend. But to be honest, I kind of just want to, in my opinion, without obviously getting any feedback from my coach, is I kind of just want to focus on the two finals, just because I kind of feel like when you're doing like so many shows, it's like your attention is scattered, because like you're doing another show, you got a peak again. It's like it's not.
Yeah.
So I'll just focus on like the BNBF finals and the PCA finals, which is, I believe, two weeks after that. And your second question in regards to going into an off season or doing it again, yeah, I'm definitely going into another off season. Probably, I don't know. I don't really like, not that I don't like doing back-to-back seasons, but like I believe, like especially as young guys, I feel like we should put more time in our off season than being on season. Because when you think about it,
body needs it as well, man. Like, let's face it, at our age group, there's not an awful lot of people doing what we're doing for the sole purpose of our bodies aren't really, when you think about it, not fully developed yet, are they? You know, it's not really ready for it, if you know what I mean. So I feel like to be doing what we're doing this early on, we've just got to sort of be proud of what we're doing. So it's a very sort of like, it's not a lot of people doing it.
Will, do you get a lot of people come up to you? I mean, I get it on my side, but what's your response when people like, especially people older than you, when they're like, oh, you know, when I was your age, I don't know, they always say some shit like, you know, just playing in the park or something like that, you know, and they kind of look at us like we've got like I say us, let's say you, they look at you, James, like you've got like, especially James, because he's like fucking what, 21, 20, 19?
21.
He's like 15 years old and he's got fucking quads looking crazy and stuff like. So when people say that to you, that you know you're at like a good position, what goes through your mind? What are you thinking of? Are you? Yeah, that's my question.
I don't know. I don't really take much from it, because like I always just keep in mind that like everyone's path's different, isn't it? Like just because their path like that, like I'm not saying my path's better than them, but I'm saying like you never know what could happen, innit? That's why I don't take anything for granted, and I'm extremely grateful to be in the position that I am in now. And like I'm not overlooking it or thinking like or taking anything for granted, but I just think obviously it's a good sign when someone older does say that to you, because it kind of means you are in the right direction. But at the same time, it makes me it kind of makes me want to chase more, because it's like if they're saying that now, then like imagine what they'd say if I was actually like reach potential, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Well, to be fair, it's the same with me. I always try to say, you know, times are different, and I try everything to kind of like say, but like you said, everyone's life is different, and you just never know. So that's calm. James, anything else? Because I think I've got the list up. If this is not the list, I'm gonna get mad.
Question wise,
James, yeah. Go on.
Not really too sure, to be honest with you.
Okay. In terms of bodybuilding, what tips would you give when it comes to training and diet? How do you kind of handle it? How do you plan it? Yeah, that. Mainly the diet. How do you plan around your diet? Are you working right now, Will?
No, not right now. Like,
okay, so what's like a day in the life of Will? How does that go about?
This is a good one.
It's pretty basic, to be honest. It's nothing crazy. So I just pretty much finished my second year of uni. I'm going into third year. So at the moment I've got a lot of free time. But yeah, I normally just get up in the morning. I'm quite introverted, so I'm not really like, I don't do anything crazy in it. I like pretty much do the same old routine. Like I'll literally walk the same park every morning. Like just do the same routine I do every day, pretty much. Like it's nothing. I don't do anything out of the ordinary, to be fair.
How many meals a day? What time do you train? That kind of stuff.
Okay, how many meals and how many times a day? So meals are split into 5 meals. I'm not really a big eater. I don't really like having the whole 6, 7, 8 meals. Truth be told, sometimes I even just have 4 meals a day, just because, like, just time-wise for me, it's more optimal, and it's like it just works around in my lifestyle better. Time-wise, I like to train. I normally like to train around like around 3 p.m. around that time. I don't really like to train too early, just because I feel like my body's not really switched on. I don't like to train too late after then 6, because I feel like my body's like just getting ready to like have some downtime and chill. So around 3 p.m. is pretty optimal for me, to be honest.
That's a good time. You've said Optimum twice, so I think it's a good time to just say make sure you get supplements from Optimum Nutrition. Just fly that in there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, we've got one more link on that Gmail, and then we can cut from there. So I don't even want to let this one die on us, but if it does die, we've got one more link there, and then I think by then I should get the list up and we can do some comparisons. But Will, have you got any questions for any of us on here?
Yeah, what do you guys feel as young guys? What's your, it's not more of a question, it's more like, what's your perspective of the fitness industry and the rise of natural bodybuilding? What's your perspective on it, and on the direction of where you feel it's going, and what impact do you think it has on young guys?
Just to clarify, when you say fitness, do you mean like bodybuilding, like within like the bodybuilding scope, or within like?
Let's just keep it bodybuilding.
Bodybuilding. Okay, cool. Yeah. I think James, wanna go first?
What, in terms of how do I feel about how it's going?
How it's going, where it's gonna go, and what would influence it, or what is it?
Your perspective on it.
I feel like with the rise of social media, it's getting out there a lot more now.
Yeah.
But I feel like it is so many people are doing now. So many people are doing it now. It's very hard to stand out and all that. But I don't know, like obviously with natural bodybuilding, it's catching on a lot more.
Yeah.
Because obviously with the organisations like BNBF, UK DFBA, WNBF, all them lot sort of things, in the last like year or two, I don't know why, it just feels like it's getting a lot more publicised.
Yeah, agreed.
So you're getting like sort of people like us that are getting like big names sort of recognised. Like this is another thing as well. Who would you say are like the most famous people in your followers list following you?
That makes no sense.
Have you got like any big, have you got like any big names that have recognised you from what you're doing, sort of thing?
Okay, that makes more sense.
Simeon Panda.
Nice.
I don't know, because I don't know. Quite a few, but I don't know like off the top of my head like that. But Simeon probably the biggest one for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Sam?
I just want to answer his first question about how the UK or how the scene is in terms of
Come in, everyone in?
Okay. Yeah, Sam was.
This thing is always trying to do me dirty. You're dead. Hold on 2 seconds.
So as I was saying, as much as it is good to see a lot of the federations like WNBF, BNBF, and all these, and all the federations for natural athletes, I think the general public just always wants to see that genetic freak. I don't think, I think it'll always be big, but it won't be as big as normal bodybuilding internationally. But yeah.
Why do you say that?
What?
About it's not going to be as big as, normal bodybuilding. And I'll give my opinion on the UK. I feel like, I don't know what...
I say a lot of people would desire a physique that's unattainable. Or so they would admire a physique that's freakish. And another thing, I don't know.
Yeah, but saying that, this is just my perspective.
Yeah.
So like natural bodybuilding, right now in the UK, is the biggest it's ever been.
Word.
And it's still growing. So it's like, obviously with the rise of social media and like obviously personalities and like, especially with the rise of just even normal people just going gym, not forget bodybuilding, just normal people just going gym to be fit and healthy and just knowing about the health and fitness industry. Yeah. Like that's naturally just increasing the viewership on overall natural bodybuilding anyway. So I feel like in the direction that it's going, that it's growing, that I don't know.
It has,
obviously, I'm not saying natural bodybuilding will get to the level of like the Olympia.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it'll be to some sort of level where it's like way higher than it already is now.
Yeah, true, 100%.
I think my take, to me, that the highest I can see natural bodybuilding going, James, if you can, in the meantime, if you can try to find the Arnold list, because I've been looking for years, but if you can get it up, send it to me on the Build a Gorilla link. But yeah, so I feel like the highest the natural bodybuilding can go would be, I mean, it's like a big if it could get televised. And I feel like the only reason why bodybuilding doesn't get televised is obviously other sports like NFL and all these guys, they take steroids, but it's not like physically in your face, like, like a lat spread, like a boom, kind of thing. It's more like in performance. So you don't really like, it's hard to kind of like,
bro, it's a very niche market.
What's that, bodybuilding?
Yeah, it's very niche.
Nah. I mean, if it was when it was being televised back in the days, obviously with the whole steroid, I don't know what made it change, but I feel like with natural bodybuilding, if we can get it televised, I feel like it could potentially outdo the Olymp. I don't want to say that, but then again, it's being televised and Miss Olympia is being streamed live, so it's a big if. But I feel like that's the.
I think you also kind of need is like that significant figure. Like I know with the in terms of Olympia here at Arnold, I feel like nowadays you see like a similar thing happening with Chris Bumstead. We need someone like that in natural bodybuilding.
Yeah, and I think it's just with connections. Like even James, your coach was telling me, Josh, shout to Josh, he was telling me that there isn't one Olympia for natural bodybuilding. Like BNBF are doing their own UK.
But you got natural Olympia.
That's like yeah, but we're talking in terms of like within. So BNBF, WNBF, they're all natural bodybuilding federations. So why don't they
joined into one?
Come together and have like that would make like a really
that would make a lot more impact.
Yeah, but I think it said things to do with like, you know, with like money and shit like that. But if we're all spending £100 to make, you know, £20 profit, let's say for example, now my £100 has gone down to 35, yours has gone down to 35, and yours has gone down to 35. So you know, in a way you're spending less and even invest more and make the sport bigger. So I feel like if the federations can come together, that would be the first step. And then it would just be having conversations with the right people within like media that could actually televise what it is that's going on. It doesn't have to be BBC or Sky Sports. It could be like a channel, you know, where people can watch, and I feel like it will start to grow from there, because at the end of the day, we're not taking any sports enhancement drugs, so per se it's not impossible for us to go on TV. It's just a matter of the whole, you know, coming together as one in that sense, which is tough to do already as it is. So, you know, even in the Olympia, there isn't a rep, there isn't like a union, so it's missing something. And I think once we can kind of come together in a way, then we can make it a lot bigger than it is. But that's like on the max. But at the moment, bodybuilding wise, I think a lot of people are coming into the sport, which is good. But it just, who's trying to call me? Not today, buddy. But yeah,
I feel like with the natural bodybuilding side of things, like obviously you see these Olympia level dudes, you all know their own separate personalities. With this, I feel like with the natural bodybuilding sort of it's going in a good direction, but the state it was all you see is competitors on stage. And now
here's a question. What do you think Sam said we need like let's call him a spokesperson for the on stage, but what would you say we need to take natural bodybuilding to the next level? It doesn't have to be like TV or anything, but what do you think the next nudge would be, or the next push would be, real? Because you started a conversation.
I feel like we need a golden boy, someone who's big on social media to do an actual show.
Someone that's Optimum.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of those in here.
You know, it's crazy. We've got 21, Sem, what, you're 22?
It's my last junior year, I'm 23.
Oh, you're 23. We've got 21, 23, 23, 24. Okay, cool.
That's shit, I'm the young one.
Yeah, you're the young one, man. Nearly the biggest one here as well, to some extent. But yeah, so what apart from like a spokesperson, what do you think would be the next thing to take natural bodybuilding to the next level?
Yeah, kind of what you said, to be fair. Like, obviously there's different federations, and I understand that they're their own kind of separate entities, but if we had like sort of like one official big like sort of league even, that would kind of maybe help in a way. But then again, it's just one of those scenarios where, like, I mean, does this federation want to work with that federation? Do you know what I mean? I think that would help.
Yeah.
Another thing that would also help is if the federations themselves actually started investing in like their own content and marketing. I think that would play a massive difference. Like, look at the way, for example, like supplement brands, for example, or clothing brands like Gymsharks, like market themselves or like, you know, advertise themselves. Imagine if these federations now started pumping money into their production team or content team and started, you know, making like I don't know, like a series or documentary leading up to the British finals, or, you know, and then selling this production video to, like, I don't know, maybe like a program show on TV or something like that. You know, things like that would definitely make it. But I feel like no federation is even doing that right now. Not even the Arnolds, to be fair.
No,
that's what I think.
If only. To be fair, that would be good. That's pretty smart. I was thinking of something. Fuad Abiyad, I don't know if you guys watch him. He was mentioning that another way that the bodybuilding sport could get more money, I don't know if I guess it would kind of like spread the awareness a bit more, is if athletes could essentially promote the show, and I guess the top 5 would get like a certain % of like ticket sales or something along them lines. Because then if you're like, for example, James, you're going to the BNBF, and then you're like, okay, cool, get your tickets here from this link, my link, come and watch me. Even though like not everyone in natural bodybuilding has like thousands of followers like the Olympians, but it's still, you know, 90 people going on stage and sharing. I mean, how many people share the link to get a ticket for their shows? Not really. You just kind of put the, you know, you put the thing out there, and you're just like, you know, I'm watching, I'm competing. So I feel like if they had that kind of incentive where they actually, I guess that would mean being paid. So if we say natural pro bodybuilders, but then again, we're not, I don't know anyone who's pro in this chat, but something like that, you know, could potentially bring a lot more awareness into the sport, having incentives for ticket sales. And obviously, then everyone knows about the federation and whatnot.
So don't you also think, like, if shows were actually starting to pay people, because there's people who sacrifice a lot to compete, I feel like guys would, I just do so much for, you kind of say for a plastic trophy, but I don't know, I just feel like if they want to see a rise in competitors in terms of competition, they should start pumping more money in terms of their marketing, in terms of if they're paying athletes, in terms of sponsorships, viewings. I don't know, I just feel like it's all give from the athletes.
Yeah, unless you're a top tier Olympia competitor, you're getting peanuts basically for what you give.
And that type of thing, it doesn't lure you in, because you sort of thinking, so what's the reason for me doing this? Like, fair enough, I'll be looking good, but for me financially, it can only do so much. But yeah, I don't know.
It's actually harder on your pockets to compete than not to compete.
It is.
I was doing the maths yesterday because someone was asking if I get paid from it, and I was like, nah, I don't even get paid. And I think I was thinking of the cost that I would take just to get on stage, and even that, it's just like, what the fuck. But yes, it is a bit.
Oh, it's a cash loss.
It is, yeah.
It's a hobby at the end of the day. It's a hobby that we all really love to do.
Yeah, let's call it a hobby.
In my opinion, you only got one life, so why not just make memories, innit? Do you know what I mean? It don't matter if you're getting paid or not. You can look back on it at the end of the day and be like, yeah, I did that.
James, if you were getting paid, let's say 2.5 grand for your show, you'd put so much more effort into it. We both know that.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. First place, I'm telling you, we'd put so much more effort into it, because we know at least at the end of the day, there's a bit of a reward.
To be fair, I'm doing everything by the books at the minute, but I know what you mean, yeah.
I guess if you work hard for it now and you're not getting paid, when you do start to get paid, then I guess it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be worth it. But it's just it's a long stretch, and some people don't have that, the finance, the time, and then to some extent the length of dedication to do that continuously and not make money off of it. So
however,
it does. Yeah, okay.
We kind of live in a world whereby we're quite gifted to social media, and we can market ourselves, and we don't necessarily need to make money from competitions to make money. we can use the publicity that we get to gain sponsorships to improve our own content and stuff like that. But yeah,
that makes sense. I do feel like there's a lot more that we can do individually, but I'm not individually together, but I think it's going to be a thing where, like he just said, it's just starting to pick up. And I feel like everyone in this age of natural bodybuilding right now is content aware. And it's not that bad. It's not so hateful, I don't think. I just feel like a lot of people haven't got the chance to really connect with each other, you know. Like for example, I messaged one of these guys, I'm not going to say his name. I messaged him and he just aired it, sent my shoulder and he just aired it. But then when I was
call him out. Don't
no, because no. I'll tell you why.
We have created a free space.
Wait, no. I'll tell you why after. I promise you. If I feel like I should say his name after, I'll say it. But I went to the BNBF when I saw when I watched James and I saw Will, and I was speaking to someone that really, really knows him, and he was just like, did you try to, you know, network with him? Did you try to speak to him? Did you try to like build a relationship before you asked him to do it? And I said, you know, thinking back on it, I didn't. You know, so you have to put things in perspective, and because of that reason, I don't feel like I should put his name out there, because I would say I didn't do the due diligence to ask for what I did ask for, even though it wasn't a crazy thing. You know, it was just a Zoom chat just to see what he was like. I thought, and the way the guy I was talking to was speaking about him, he said they joke on a day-to-day. So who am I to try to
look? You had made efforts to talk to him before you even asked him that question.
Yeah, but you can't. I don't know, man. I try to see what.
Bro,
what
don't try to justify the situation. He's a prick. He's a prick. Bro, there's no way sugarcoating things. Like,
yeah, it could have handled it better, but on my side as well, I could have made a lot more effort. But it wasn't the first time I spoke to him. But like I said, the main fact is not everyone really gets a chance to really interact with each other unless it's like on a shoulder and you see him and like, oh, yo, I saw you did like with Will, I saw you at PCA, we kind of spoke, and then we spoke a lot more at BNBF, you know, so we know there's like a little some sort of relationship, or you know you have an idea of the person. And I feel like if we can find a way to integrate a lot more personalities together and a Zoom call, or when we do link ups and shit like that, I feel like it's a long way away, but I think there's something there. And I think once the whole community is together, you don't have to be friendly. You still want obviously the competitive spirit, but once everyone understands that, you know, if we can come together and we can make the sport a lot more publicized, we all could potentially, you know, gain from it in the future. But I think it's just about getting to know people, and it's when a random guy pops up to you and messages you, you don't know him, you know, you don't owe him anything to be nice or anything. You just speak your truth, and that's the least. So you have to understand it from both sides. But yeah, I do feel like he was on the slight side, but I'm not gonna hold that against him.
There was a guy that we were quite in awe of his physique.
Yeah, I forgot to say that. I really liked his physique as well. Yeah,
we were just trying to get to know him more, and if he's training, if he's doing any shows, and if or not he's natural or not. Not that would have any benefit or disadvantage. It was just a general chat, and yeah, he wasn't exactly the kindest person, but that's not everyone. That's
yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not. Because I even spoke to that Lewis guy that was at the BNBF. Yeah, BNBF.
Lewis Emmanuel.
Yeah. So I spoke to him.
He's down, man.
Yeah. I spoke to him about joining the podcast. He said, yeah. I spoke to Leon about jumping on as his posing coach. They both said, yeah. So I feel like there's some bad apples, but there's a lot of green ones, and the green ones are just waiting for someone to just say, yo, you know, this is the line that we're trying to go. You know, like Will, for example, he was like very, very open to it. I was kind of surprised as well. I don't know why, but you just never. That's the same reason. You just never know until you ask.
We kind of need more people like that, because I know a lot of people would view the whole community as being very toxic, because it's very toxic. I don't know. It's masculine. You get a lot of guys competing. You have beef here and there on Insta. It's
a lot of fake love as well.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't mind. Well, what do you think? What on the toxic level, do you see it as that? And on a fake love as well, do you see on any of those spectrums, or do you agree or disagree with either or?
Well, it's no secret that it is a masculine and ego-driven sport.
Mm.
Like, as it's already a masculine and ego-driven sport, like that's first and foremost. Secondly, if you have someone that's very insecure and just pretty much a very self-obsessed and like, yeah, just like an arrogant person, and then you put ego-driven sport, you're gonna get what you're gonna get, right? But at the same time, I think people just need to realize and make aware that like it's just bodybuilding, bro. It's one aspect of your whole life. Like, it's not everything, bro. Like once I leave the gym, I pretty much don't give a shit about bodybuilding, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really don't care about it that much. But obviously, you get some people that are just obsessed about it and make it about their whole life, which is fine, because obviously everyone has their own way and how they live it. But I think the main issue is it comes down to what the individual person is like personally, as opposed to the industry as a whole. Because I know a lot of people that are really, really, really like sound guys, like chilled guys.
Yeah,
a lot of them are. Yeah.
Cool, but upbringing as well. I think if you've been sort of like brought up by not like the nicest people, obviously it's going to reflect on you as well. But if you're brought up by people who are sort of like known to respect everyone around them, just be nice in general, that's how you're going to be in it. So
yeah, I think there's more good apples than bad, honestly. Even like people like even like AJ Morris, he's like who you'd probably think is like, I don't know, just if he was to just be like ignorant, you'd probably think he's like, because he's got a following and he's got like good, you'd probably think, oh, he's not going to be that kind of guy. But you speak to him in person, you speak to him on social media.
Yeah, he's
good
so
guy.
sad.
George Osborne, good guy. Keith West, good guy. These are guys that they look like they're training like they're about to kill people, but off the gym, like they're really, really cool people. So it's sometimes I feel like it's just like people just get things mixed up, that we're still normal guys outside bodybuilding. We're still fucking 22, 23 years old. We're not 40 years old men with kids and fucking, paying baby mama fees and shit like that with stress on our lives. We're still like very, very young. I think it's just about connecting with the right people. And, that's all you can actually kind of do. And whoever kind of is in your lane, that's it. And if they're not in your lane, there's no point trying to like, figure out and try to, get into what they're doing kind of thing. So, but yeah, that's I don't see the fake love. Maybe you get the fake love when you start winning shows. I haven't won shows yet, but you got.
I don't know. Again, I think it's more of a. To be fair, I don't really judge the industry as like toxic or like really good. Like I said, I feel like it just comes down to an individual person by themselves. Like for example, all those guys you've just named, like I know them when I speak to them. Like they're really, really sound guys. Yeah, like even like most people I saw at the show this week. I mean, the past show at the BNBF, like most of the competitors, they are really good guys and really chilled. Obviously, there's a few that are just like, all right, like need to calm down, bro. But I feel like it depends. I feel like with bodybuilding, it depends because, like, for example, I'm a person like I already knew myself and I was already comfortable with myself before bodybuilding. So like having all this, like building all this muscle and like, you could say like gaining a little bit of success in it doesn't do anything for me because I know who I am anyway. Like I don't really
add on to who you are.
Yeah. Like take all the wins, take everything away from me. Like I'm still gonna be me in it. But I feel like a lot of people are like they come in the industry very insecure and obviously have a low self-esteem and a confidence issue. And then you give them a little bit of a muscle and a little bit of a following, and now you see what I mean. You kind of get like a egotistical, self-obsessed, which is why
I think you hit on the nail when you described it the first time, which was like the combination of like ego and some other stuff. I feel like that's like the perfect combination of what would make someone kind of toxic in that sense. So yeah, 100%.
Don't get me wrong. Going on to your point earlier when you said like when AJ and like Keith in that training, like don't get me wrong, that you're not going to be successful in the bodybuilding if you're a nice guy in the gym, bro. You got to switch on mentally as well. Like, you have to, like,
it makes sense.
You train, like, even with me, when I'm in the gym training, bro, like, I don't want to talk to you, bro. I don't want to talk to anyone, bro. Like, I'm there to train. Like, don't talk to me before my session, because nothing rude or personally, but don't chat to me. Like, after the training session, when I'm done, I'm like, cool, like, talk whatever. But it's like, at the same time, like, of course, you gotta differentiate between, like, just how you conduct yourself, like, when you're training, and like, general day-to-day basis. But I think where people go wrong is they kind of have that training persona on a normal day-to-day life, when it shouldn't really be like that.
I feel you. That makes sense. That's not. I was gonna say something. Oh, okay, cool. Is everyone okay with that? With that topic there? I feel like we kind of understand the cause and effects of it in a sense. I want to do Olympia, because we can't do Arnold. I want to do Olympia top 5 predictions off the top of your head. It should be fairly straightforward if you know who you think your top 5 would be. But yeah, I say we'll go from there. If anyone, let's say in order for the fun. Has anyone seen Big Ramy's recent update? Yeah. Sam, have you seen it?
Yeah, I have.
Will, you seen it?
Yo, I'm gonna keep it completely honest and G, bro. I don't even follow bodybuilding like that. I swear to God.
Oh God.
I swear down, I don't even watch bodybuilding, bro.
Okay, cool. Every time we bring up
I know the basis of it, like, but I don't really follow it like that. The only show I do watch is just the Olympia, just once a year. That's it. Apart from that,
how do you even go about watching it? Do you have to buy like some live streaming? Because I really want to watch it.
You have to buy a live stream. Yeah,
I might have to be
let me share my screen. I've got Big Ramy on here, not on the pod, but I wish. But cool. Let me see.
I'm going to try and find the Olympia lineup, because...
Cool. Can you guys see my screen? Hold on, it's loading up, I think. Yeah, cool. This is him as of 18 hours ago.
Best natural out there.
Do you think...
That's the most natural athlete I've seen.
He's competing at the BNBF finals.
Look at that, though. Like, I don't think Andrew Jack stands next to him.
Quick question for everyone. Quick question.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of SemFlex in bodybuilding, or are you a mass monster, like, follower?
I think it's going in a good direction with the aesthetics. I like that better.
Yeah, same. I really like the mass, because mass is kind of like, it's just
dominant.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I kind of like the old school classic. Like, my favorite, even though my favorite era of bodybuilding is the 90s, but even if you do look at the 90s, physiques like Flex Wheeler and Kevin Levrone, they're big, but they're still aesthetic and funny, as opposed to...
They keep that level to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so better question, just quickly. Would you rather have 70% mass, 30% aesthetics, or 30% aesthetics and 70% mass? Does that make sense?
Does that make sense? If you want to look like Big Ramy, or if you want to look like Flex.
Nah, not Flex. Let's say Andrew Jack, because Andrew Jack is a let's call him a
balance of both.
He's not, exactly. And this is mass and aesthetics, and this is what it would look like. So I would always go for aesthetics.
That is bodybuilding, though. That is bodybuilding.
But I don't think it can compete against Big Ramy looking like this, though. You know.
He looks sick, though. But like, you said, like, Big Ramy's just huge, but it's like, actual bodybuilding, you've got to have a level of conditioning. If you don't bring that conditioning, sorry. If I was a judge, I'm handing it to Andrew. Do you know what I mean?
Remember, it's about everything in combination. It's about shape, structure, conditioning, mass. It's all of those, seeing who's got ultimately the best package.
So why do you think Hadi hasn't been? Well, Will doesn't. I don't know if Will knows Hadi Chukman. I'm hoping he does.
I know you.
Okay. So yeah,
it's size. It's size. So, it comes down to the balance thing, having everything.
I also think his shape.
I was about to bring him up, Samson. He's looking scary.
Yeah, I bring up Samson and I bring up Hadi Chutman because I think those are like a good middle ground of like size and aesthetics.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to cut. I've got work in it. So
okay. Wait, no. Let's get your top five, and then we can go.
Top five in no order.
In no order. No, in order. We need some fun.
Andrew Jack's not gonna win Olympia.
Is in your top five?
No.
No, okay.
He's not in top five. Because top five is who? Okay, top five last year: Big Ramy, Brandon Curry, Nick Walker.
No. It was Ansar, then Nick, and then someone else after.
I've got the list here. If you want me to screenshot and send it all to you, if you want a quick look on your phones or whatever.
I think I know my top five. I'll give you my top five right now. Ramy, Hadi Chutman, Nick.
I don't think High is going to be top five.
But are we counting Derek Lunsford as well?
No.
Is he even in though?
It will be. Let's
say EP4.
Nah, it's too big for that. And Sean Clarida, we've got 10 minutes. And Sean Clarida is in there, so
Sean Clarida's doing open.
Yeah. So okay, cool. I don't know. Top five is tough, you know. Wait, I sent it. Let me see. I sent it to you. Let me get it up.
Do you want to hear my?
I'm just saying.
Go on. Yeah, let me hear yours.
I've got top six.
If Andrew Jack wins UK Arnold, he's gonna make top five Olympia. If that doesn't happen, no.
Interesting. Okay, run me through your top five quickly. I'm trying to find the list I sent you.
Yeah, let me give my list before we go. I'm not gonna put in any order because I haven't seen how anyone's looking so far.
Okay, cool.
Big Ramy, Brandon Curry, just because of bodybuilding heritage. It's
Okay.
I forgot Bonak.
No, but he had that surgery, didn't he? So he had that surgery done, so he could come back better than ever.
It's just gyno. That's it.
He had an abdomen hernia thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I've got it. This is who's in it. Nick Walker, Nathan, if it makes it there. Mansu, who's that guy that you like? LCBI with.
That's what I'm looking at the minute. It's actually
Brandon Curry, Hadi Chutman, Hunter, Sean Clarida, Regan Grimes, Samson Dowda, Raphael Brandau, Angel Clarendon, Joe Thomas, William Bonac, Blessing, Charles Griffin, Mohammed Shaban, Hassan Mustafa, Mohammed Ainsor, Victor Boff, Andre Peste, Ian Verlier, and Anton Valiant. Wow, that's a tough one.
It's tough.
Then you've got Akim and Andrew Jack.
Yeah, and potentially Derek as well. Okay, top five. Who's going first? Who's ready?
Yeah, let me say, man, because I need to cut.
All right.
Big Ramy, Brandon Curry. I feel like he's going under the radar, and a lot of people are talking about him. There's that new guy who changed over.
Oh, that white guy.
Yeah, he's going to be top five.
He's not qualified yet, though.
I'm just saying he's going to qualify and he's going to be top five.
Okay, go on then.
I can put 100 pounds on that.
All right.
Nick Walker and Hassan Mustafa.
Go on, James. Who you got?
Right. Guys, I need to cut in a bit.
All right, bro. See you later, bro.
Let's have a good one, everyone.
All right, man. James, who you got?
I can't have a set one, but I'll have a top two battling it out, okay?
Okay.
So I'll have a Big Ramy and a conditioned Nick Walker.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Third.
it? Okay, cool. Third.
No, third, Brandon Curry, like Sem said, just because you know he can come in out of nowhere. And then you've probably got like names like Hunter Labrada, Samson, and Andrew Jack battling it out for fourth and fifth.
I don't see Brandon Curry and I don't see him in there at the moment.
Yeah, but is he really going to fall all them spots though?
I just don't know. It just doesn't seem like he's really into it this year. I feel like this might even be his last year, really and truly. We only have about 20 minutes, I think 10 minutes left. I'll give you my top two. It's going to be Big Ramy and Hadi Chutman. Where did Hadi? Yeah.
There's something about his physique. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, I think those two. That's my top two. 3, 4, 5 would be Nick Walker, Samson, and Derek Lansford. I'm saying he's going to be in there. I don't see William Bonac in there because shoulder to waist ratio, Derek would smoke him on that one, and he's a lot more denser.
This is the thing. If Derek does get in, I can see him getting a top 3.
Yeah, so I see him there.
Imagine him with no weight cap.
What's your top 5, Will?
I'm probably the worst person to ask. Like,
People don't follow the game like that.
I don't even follow bodybuilding like that. But if I just, off the top of my head, I'd say, of course, Big Ramy in there. Wait, what's his name? Is Sean going?
Yeah, the 212 is in there. Yeah, it's going open. Yeah,
I actually think he cracks top 5.
You think?
Yeah.
Over Derek, I don't think they'll put 212s in top 5. That would become messy. Politics. If you put two top,
I know, but I'm just thinking of it this way. Sean is a similar size to what's his name, Hadi, innit? Around same height, innit?
No.
No.
Hadi is I think Hadi's 5'6", Sean is 5'2".
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't cracking top 5 just because of that, the height thing.
Yeah.
Right, so Big Ramy. I'd say condition Nick Walker could cause a lot of issues in top 5. Then you got Ramy, Nick Walker, Brandon Curry, because you never know, like he could just come on and it's like you can't really argue with that. And then
that's what I was saying. Like if he comes out of nowhere again, then obviously.
By the way, Hadi Chutman is 5'5", and Sean Clarino is 5'2", so it's like a decimals, but yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'd say Ramy, Nick Walker. Who did I just say? Brandon Curry.
Yeah.
And the other two in the top 5 are
Derek Lansford, man. Oh, this is gonna be so sick to watch.
I think Samson's gonna make some.
I think Samson's there, man. 100%.
I'm actually gonna say Andrew Jack, because listen, he's genetically perfect, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like it's very hard for me to not say him. And last person, probably Derek Lunsford.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking of it, it makes sense. I'm being stupid. I'm just gonna think of the super guys. Derek in no order. Derek, Hadi, Big Ramy, Andrew Jack, and Samson Dowder. That's my top 5. I'm just being stupid. Anything else?
For me, just shape, forget everything else, just shape. I feel like Andrew Jack and Brandon Curry, just shape in that top 5.
And Derek. Derek has got and Derek, yeah.
Team at the guest posing.
Yeah.
Then 3, just going off shape alone, shape and balance, wipe the floor with everyone else.
Samson's got shape and balance as well because his physique stands out from them open bodybuilding guys as well, distinctively, and he's 330 at the moment. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be the most competitive Olympia in ages.
Okay, cool. Let's wrap things up quickly. No, because I don't know who's in Classic because it's gonna be Chris. There's some new guys in there, so we'll probably have to do it another time.
Brazilian dude for sure.
You think he's gonna? I think Terrence is gonna. I put on my story today.
You've got that Brazilian dude, Gabriel, or whatever his name.
I think Terrence has got it, man. I think Terrence. Everyone's fighting for 3rd place, man. It's Terrence. He's been waiting patiently back to back, and he's been improving. But then Sam told me, Chris is working with Hani Rambod now, so that changes things up a bit. Yeah, so maybe not this year, Terence, but it's close. I don't think anyone's coming higher than Terence, to be fair.
I've always thought, and I've always said that I feel as if Terence is more complete than Chris. I've always thought.
Honestly, he is. Man.
I've said the only reason why Chris wins is because he's taller. That's it.
Yeah, but then think about. I don't want to use this experience, but I don't know if you probably didn't watch the one where Josh Bratman was at, and he was the tallest classic physique figure there, and he literally came fourth. So I don't think height represents everything, but I think if we take away height and they're both the same, I think Terence is a lot more, is like a compact, dense, is everything. Like that's me, to be fair. But yeah, you guys are competing on the 2nd of October. There's gonna be a lot of us coming down to watch. James, I'll speak to you about that in a second. After the thing, but a lot of us are gonna come watch, and I think that's gonna be very, very interesting. Hopefully, we see both of you go head to head in the overalls. Hopefully,
definitely gonna hit that head to head most muscular shot.
And the side chest. But yeah, man, I really do appreciate you coming down. Honestly, man. Anything you wanna say before you go off?
Nothing much. Not said it.